shop in my garage. That it would be half of a garage actually, because I make sure that Mama's car spends the entire winter inside while mine sits outside. As you can see, this is a converted wood shop. It was a pretty decent wood shop at one time, and I've had to convert it to a metal shop. And the good news is that some of the tools I had for woodworking work equally well on the metal side, like a drill press and a few other items. This is a 2.5 car garage plus the shop wing in the background. So I was able to build a big work table and set it back into the shop alcove, and still have room for all the other accoutrements that come with building an airplane. And once I finished the tail feathers, I was able to figure out a way to hang those from the ceiling, so that actually and those sheets you see are not because I was really thinking about putting them to bed. It really has to do with keeping bird droppings and bug droppings off of the top of the tail feathers while they're up at the ceiling. The main body of work, the fuselage, a couple of things I might point out. The magnetometer bracket, I was just telling a couple of people that that's the second magnetometer bracket I've fabricated. The first one I was not pleased with at all, and this one I ended up dummying up out of cardboard, and then finally getting it done out of 032 aluminum. It's plenty rigid now, which it wasn't before. The panel, what's going to go in all these holes, I'm going to have a dual GRT set up. Obviously, the avionics rack is done. It's over on the workbench. That's basically a Garmin audio panel, an SL30, and then the 327 transponder. The TrueTrack processor will go there. I haven't been willing to put out the big bucks for the processor yet. I just have the servos in the wing and the fuse. This will be fixed pitch, so all I need are throttle and mixture in that panel, and then a couple of backup instruments, which I'm ready to cut the openings for those. And then over here I've got the requisite drop-down fuse panel. One of those nifty ideas that I saw on the web, and certainly couldn't figure out a better way to do it myself, so I copied that idea. This is what Jim and I refer to as the bundle of snakes. That's actually the standard airflow performance filter and pump kit. They give you a couple of those tubes preformed, and then you get to spend the next 3 weeks cussing and sputtering as you're trying to bend the rest of those tubes in those very tight radii. And also, as I learned, remember to make sure you put the nut on the line before you flare it. I think that only took me 3 or 4 perhaps pieces of scrap before I remembered to do that every time. But it does fit in there pretty compactly. The jewel of the Enterprise is my Aerosport Power IO320, which I'm hoping, with the assistance of friends, let me repeat that, with the assistance of friends, I'm hoping we'll be able to hang this in the next few weeks. The only thing I have to do before that is to put the landing gear struts in. The wheels and tires are ready to go, and once I get it up on the gear, then we can hang the engine. But this is a IO320 with a Slick Mag on the left and Lightspeed Plasma 2 on the right. And I have the Rife preheater system and a little bit of custom paint from Aerosport Power, and I think the rest of it's pretty much stock. This, of course, is the Dynafocal 1 mount for the IO320. Just within the last week or so, I've got about all of the firewall things I wanted to get on prior to hanging the engine. I've got the cowl strips done. This will have a Sam James cowl, and I'll be using the cam lock fasteners on the firewall, and then the hinges on the vertical joint between upper and lower cowl. So these, the only thing these will require yet will be the larger diameter holes after I mark the center point on the cowl. The Sam James cowl should be here in about 3 weeks, along with the plenum. This was for a long time my wood shop. Obviously, I didn't have the big work table at that point in time, so I could use the center area here for clamping furniture and those sorts of things. The table I made with the dimensions specifically so it would fit within here and let me work around all sides and use both the bench and the table. This has worked out really well. It's on casters, lockable casters, so I can roll that table out at times when that's been convenient to do so. And it also happens to be just wide enough to handle the standard Vans cardboard carton that they use. And that was a sheer stroke of luck. I wish I could say I knew the dimensions of that box ahead of time, but that's not the case. This is my trusty W.W. Grainger compressor. This compressor my dad and I bought 41 years ago to spray paint cars and build a dune buggy with, and decided we could use some air tools. And about 14 years ago my folks moved from the Chicago area to Florida, and my dad has no place for the compressor. So at that point in time he willed to me the 41, not then 41, now 41-year-old compressor, and it continues to putter away on day in, day out basis, and all the riveting and everything else that I've done on this airplane have been done with that old compressor. So I can speak very highly of W.W. Grainger compressors. One of the big selling points when I bought this house many years ago was the fact that it had a heated garage, and little did I know that I was going to make such great use of the heated garage. I normally keep it about 45 degrees in the wintertime, but all I've got when I want to come out here and work, I just walk out, turn up the thermostat, and typically heat the garage to 57 to 60 degrees, and it's very comfortable working. This last winter when I had to finish up some canopy work, I actually was able to heat the garage to 70 using that heater. But it's just a tremendous asset for a home shop. I wouldn't have been able to get anywhere close to this kind of progress had I not been able to work comfortably over the winter. We've come inside now from my garage shop, and I did want to show you the world's most expensive fireplace screen. Once I finished my canopy last winter, I wanted to make sure it was out of the line of fire where it wouldn't get scratched or anything, and quite frankly couldn't think of a better place to bring it than the study inside my house. So there you see it. It certainly has more man hours in it than any fireplace screen you can buy at Menards. I will certify that. This is the standard Vans cart for the wings. Actually, I made all of the pieces up ahead of time except cutting the actual contour, and that I waited for the until I had the wing ribs, so I could cut those to exactly fit the wing and then widen them just a little bit so I could slide the wings from the top down very easily. But it's on casters, and it enables me to move it around the garage and move it outside if I have other things that I have to do. I think Van's design is actually quite clever, since you only really need one 2x4 to connect the ends. It's plenty rigid and actually not really hard to build at all. Well, with that, I think you're probably tired of hearing me talk, and I don't know that I have anything more to show you that would fall into the interesting category. So, but it's been fun. It's always good to have other folks from the chapter come down and visit to the distant fiefdom of Mahomet, and I hope you've at least enjoyed it, if not learned something.